Hello technical writing students, this is your instructor Julie Gross, and we're going to talk a little bit about the assignments for week 4 or lesson 4. It's hard to believe we're this far into the semester, but this week we're going to focus on memos and how to write professional memos for the workplace. As you can see on my screen here, we have 3 different assignments for week 4. We have a quiz, which I call quiz number 1 because it's the first quiz over the textbook. Quiz number 1 is over chapter 3. It will focus on memos and emails from that chapter. Last week we talked about emails, how to write a proper email and a professional email, and this week again, like I said, we're going to focus on memos. If you go up to the course materials page and pull that up, you're going to find the study guide for chapter 3 quiz number 1. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can look there, and that's going to help you out a little bit and let you know what's going to be on the quiz. For this quiz, I would like you to not use your textbook, okay? It's going to be a timed quiz, no help from the outside, no notes, no Google, nothing. I just want to see what you remember from the chapter, so make sure that you read the chapter well and that you study for the test or the quiz. There are 2 other assignments. There'll be assignments where you'll upload a document, a Word document for me to grade. The first one is to revise a paragraph, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. That's an exercise out of the book, 57, number 5A. It's a paragraph that needs a lot of revising. It's not very concise. So if you look in your textbook, it's going to give you some clues on how to do that, how to take out redundant words and repetitious words and words you just don't need in a paragraph like that. So you're going to take it and you're going to make it more concise. You're going to condense it down and take out the information that is unnecessary. You'll probably need something from each sentence that's in the original paragraph. So make sure you're not throwing out entire sentences, because there's a lot of information that you do need in there. You just have to look at the wording and see if there are words in there, like I said, that are unnecessary due to redundancy or repetition. The one that we're going to focus a lot on right now is revising the memo. It's on page 59, number 6B. They're going to give you a memo in the textbook, and then you need to take it and put it in the proper format, okay? There are 2 files that are going to come along with that assignment. So if you were to click on Revise Memo here, it's going to give you 2 files to put up. The first file that you're going to look at is going to be one called, it says Memo Basic Example, and it's going to tell you a little bit about memos. The first thing I want to point out, this is what your document will look like when you pull that up. The file. It says, remember to use white space by centering vertically. What that means is when you get done with your memo, it should look like this. It should have enough white space at the top as at the bottom. The reason for that is just for looks, really. We want your memo to be centered and to look nice for your readers. So you can do that just by eyeballing it. You don't necessarily have to find the centering button to do that. Just make sure there's the same amount of white space at the bottom as there is at the top. Some other things real quick about memos. It tells us that the proper heading or the proper format for the introductory information at the top, you have to have a to, a from, a date, and a subject, and they have to be all in capital letters, just like you can see here. Then you're going to tab over so that the information that goes with it, that they're all in a line. For the to and the from, you need to list the person's full name, their first and last name, and then their job title as well. Memo needs to be a little bit bigger. It needs to be centered, and that's going to be sort of the title of your document. We're just going to call it memo. You need at least 3 paragraphs for a good memo. Your first paragraph is what we call your introduction, and it really needs to just state the purpose of the memo. With technical writing, we've talked a little bit about this before. It's easy in, easy out. We want to make the information easy to read for the reader, and we want to make it as simple as possible to get in and out of. It's something that's going to be very easy to read and quick to read, okay? So you're going to get right to the point. Sometimes your first paragraph is only going to be 1 or 2 sentences. The next few paragraphs are going to provide the discussion or the details of the memo. And what's important about this section and in the assignment that you're going to do, have at least 1 list. You can have a bulleted list for easy access to information. So it's going to look something like this, but you'll probably use bullets instead of these dashes. You'll probably have 1 to 2 lists in the example that you're going to do. Again, bulleted lists draw the reader's attention to that information, and it's easy in, easy out. With the last paragraph, that's just the conclusion. Your conclusion is telling your reader how to respond. Usually it's something easy like, if you have any questions, please give me a call. Something like that to tell your reader, once they've read this memo, what you want them to do in response to it. Again, there's some guidelines listed for you down here at the bottom of the example. And then an actual memo written by students to an instructor to give you another example as to format. You do want to double space in between paragraphs as well. All right, this is about all I had for you on memos. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you. Have a great day.